What's up, guys? It's me, Alan, and I'm back with another video today. And today we're going to kick it back to NASCAR Authentics 2018 Wave 3 with this diecast. Now, this just came in the mail. This and another diecast actually were given to me for my birthday by a friend of mine on Twitter. So if you're watching, you know who you are. Thank you. And this one is going to be on William Byron's 2018 Liberty University Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports from NASCAR Authentics Wave 3. I have no idea what the hell that is in the packaging, but I don't think it has anything to do with the diecast, so we're not going to worry about it. Obviously, you see the rookie stripe, so you know he was a rookie back then. And then there's the rest of the wave if you feel like reminiscing about it. Here's the funny thing with this is that I wasn't really like checking the shelves almost all the time back in 2018 for diecast. So, you know, I think the one diecast out of this wave that I think I really missed out on, maybe other than the Ty Majeski one, is the Kurt Busch one. Although I can tell you right now, seeing the one so far back on the hood, that kind of annoys me. I wonder why it's like that. But with that being said, still, I am happy to have this, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to review it. You know, and obviously I'm anticipating Wave 5 when that comes out for 2020. But anyway, you're going to go ahead and get this diecast out of its box and get on with the review. Obviously, William Byron made the playoffs this year. Not 2018, but 2020. But anyway. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the hood first. And I got to say, without looking at this in person, if you look, it's hard to tell because of the dark blue, but there's these, you know, the Liberty U lines, or I can't tell what the hell lines they are, that underneath. Oh, no, yeah, no, it is the Liberty University logo, but it's in like some sort of brown. The dark blue makes it so you can't really see it on camera, especially with a camera like mine and the lighting and shit. But I think that's actually really cool. And I do like the finish on the hood itself. I do like that. But with that being said, gonna go ahead and test the diecast out as always. Gonna go ahead now review the diecast. Windows are in place. And yeah, whatever the hell that thing was that I saw in the packaging, it fell out. So it's no big deal. So yeah, and of course, typical Lionel quality. If you look at this side of the car right here, you got the windshields a little sagging on this side, on the top, which I've seen that in a few diecasts that I have already. So trust me, it's happened before. It's a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Now, the thing with 2018 is that 2018 was a crap year for diecasts, and I say that because, well, Wave 12. For every diecast collector, you know what I'm referring to. It needs no explanation. But if you really want to know about Wave 12 of 2018, I would suggest just look up NASCAR Authentics Wave 12 2018, and you'll probably find a rant from a certain NASCAR diecast YouTuber, or I should say diecast YouTuber in general, and reviewer, and go from there. So yeah, with that being said, I do like the diecast. I think like the biggest difference for this diecast between this and now with the Liberty schemes essentially is the numbers. It's not a red 24 anymore. Obviously, as you can see, the rookie stripes, which I think one's higher than the other, and then the Liberty University logo is a little crooked on the back. And of course, as we know, Liberty University is embroiled in its own scandal these days, which I think honestly sucks because, I mean, William Byron, 2020 Daytona night race, the final race of the regular season. It's make or break. You're going into this, it's Byron, Jimmy Johnson, Matt DiBenedetto are the three guys that were the closest shot to make the playoffs. You know, three guys really competing for two spots. And then, of course, you have guys like Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who could, you know, who's amazing on the super speedways, who could come out of nowhere and win it and freaking shake it all up. Well, the race itself was pretty tame for the most part. There's a lot of pit strategy going on, some interesting things, and then late in the going, shit got crazy, and like what the thing is, one of the big wrecks that happened, or no, like the first major wreck that happened late in the race. The crazy thing about it is that at one point, if you were watching in slow motion or just watching it in general, there was at one point where I think all three of the playoff drivers, or I shouldn't say playoff drivers, but guys contending for the playoff spots, William Byron, Jimmy Johnson, and Matt DiBenedetto, all three of them were in the same shot at the same time watching that wreck, and all three of them got past it. Like none of them get involved. And the craziest thing is remembering that crash. I think it happened right in front of Byron, actually. It was either right in front of him or DiBenedetto. But either way, it was they were right there. And all three of them escaped it and didn't have any issues. But then the next one that happened involved all three of them. Unfortunately, Jimmy got the worst of it. Really what happened, it was towards the front. I think just Jimmy was in the wrong spot, being in the top lane for where he was. They were just fighting at the front. Logano got a tire cut. Actually, Byron was partly involved at the front, which I think led to Logano getting his tire cut because they went like 3 or 4 wide at the front, and it was just tight up there. And then Logano, he got sideways in the corner, and it looked like the only damage that Johnson would have would be just hitting the wall, with the passenger side. That is until Matt Kenseth got turned somewhere and got turned and hit him, which effectively knocked Jimmy Johnson out. Although his team kept him out there, they worked valiantly to get the car back out there, and they did for the final laps. I think he was a lap or two down, and there was a late wreck. There was actually, I think, a wreck on the last lap or something. If Johnson wasn't a lap down when that happened, because if I remember correctly, he was. Because he made it through past that. If he wasn't a lap down, I think he would have gained enough spots to stay in, or at least maybe tie, because he finished like 6 points out, which honestly sucked. And then when you look at it from the perspective of Byron and DiBenedetto just had no momentum going into the playoffs, and it just did not work out for him. And then Byron, it was looking like, he really needed to do well at Bristol, and NBC catches a lot of shit for this, or I think it was NBCSN, but either way, they didn't show what happened to Byron at Bristol that knocked him out of the playoffs, but basically what happened is he rear-ended somebody. I think one of the Rick Ware racing cars was involved, because Byron got in the back of somebody, I think trying to avoid a Rick Ware racing car. And it was around the same time that we saw, I think, Hamlin get in the back of Truex Jr. And they never showed what happened to Byron. They never did, which pissed a lot of people off. And it effectively knocked him out of the playoffs because he was done for the race. So, a tough way to end it. And what sucks even more for Byron is him losing the Hertz sponsorship because they went bankrupt. Exalta's is scaling back a little bit on their sponsorship, to not running nearly as many races as they did before. Like they're still gonna be a prominent sponsor, but just not for as many races. And then I think, and I don't know what's gonna happen with Liberty, but with the recent news that Alex Bowman's going to the 88, from the 88 to the 48, which has Ally for until 2023. He doesn't, all the sponsorships that he had with the 88, through some detective work by a particular Twitter user, and if you watch one of David Land's recent videos, you'll know who I'm referring to. But if Kyle Larson does go to the 88 or whatever they renumber that car to, there's a pretty big chance that he will have Lumar as a sponsor at least. But as far as the others like Chevy Goods, Cronus, Valvoline, and some of the others. It's really a question of who do they go to. Do they stick around with the 88, or again, whatever, if they renumber that car with Byron, or not Byron, Larson, assuming he goes there, or do some of the sponsorships Jesus Christ, I can't fucking speak. Or do some of these sponsorships move over to the 24? Because he's going to need it. He's going to need to fill some spots. He's going to be in a similar situation, I think, to Bowman entering this season, sponsorship-wise, because they were going into the season, there were some races that Bowman didn't have sponsorship for, and then Chevy Goods stepped up with some of their products like Adams Polishes, Truck Hero, and things like that. But I think Rick Hendrick will figure it out. But with all of that being said, I'm just excited to see what Byron can do for the future. He gets some shit from some fans. Obviously the way he got into NASCAR was different. He came up, through the computer, through iRacing. He did really well in trucks. Probably would have won a championship down there if he didn't have engine issues at one of the races late in the season, because that knocked him out playoff wise. And then I think he won a championship at Xfinity. I could be wrong, but either way, Byron, he's had one hell of a story getting up to this point, and I just want to see him succeed in that car. Because obviously you have Noah Gragson coming up in the future, but realistically, it's a question of what can all these guys do? I mean, Chase Elliott's probably going to be there for a long time. So really the question is Bowman and Byron, and then presumably Larson if he goes to the 88 for 2021. And then after 2021, it's anybody's guess as to what's going to happen. Is Bowman going to get extended? I think Byron's extended till 2022. What's the Larson situation this year and what that could do for the future. Just a lot of things to think about and talk about, and it's going to be interesting to see how the NASCAR landscape changes over the next couple of years. But with that all being said, this is one of my longer reviews. I haven't done a review this long in a while. But again, with that all being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.